Welcome to another episode of Reflect and Grow with Mychael. I'm your host. We come here every week where we reflect, we grow, and we laugh. If you're listening to this on Thursday, we're live on TikTok. We go live on TikToks Monday at 10 p.m. I'm so excited, man, to be back with everybody. Um, we had so much fun last week. Last week was so dope, man. Great conversation. We was talking about anxiety. It was just me in the chat, everybody in the chat. It was so good. Um, yeah. So Lux, if you can please get that likes up to we get that up to 1,000, I would truly appreciate you. So we can get this out to more people. All right. So today, man. Well, first before we get into today's topic, um, this week, man, it's been so dope. I realized I was facing burnout, and I had to take the month off from stand up. I got one show I got to do, but other than that, took the month off, and I didn't realize that I was burnt out, y'all. So I have just had some downtime. I reflect. I've been growing and getting organized and um, figuring out how to better structure life because you can get burnt out super quick and you don't even know you like burnt out. Like I'm starting now to like recognize the signs of burnout. Like when I'm overeating, like oh yeah, I'm burnt out because I'm always eating fast foods because I'm so tired I don't want to cook. So so now I'm building in a actual time amount of time that I take breaks. So it's like 10 weeks. I'm doing shows stuff like that. Then 3 weeks off, so that I don't deal with that burnout because that burnout be crazy. And it's like it's so weird because it's like I didn't know until week 3 of the month that I was burnt out. That's how tired I was. When you burnt out, you don't even realize you burnt out. And it's like you got to get so much rest just to make up for that much burnout. So diet's been getting better during this burnout, and it just showed me like we had an episode about that. Like sometimes you just got to slow down, get off that hamster wheel, that rat race, get out of that. You don't need that. Like you gotta slow down, peace. But they say that a lot of things come to you when you in stillness. So that's where my mindset has been at. So shout out to the AI summary for letting people know what it's about. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Had some peanuts. All right. So this week, our topic is about proving yourself to other people. Um, yes. This is a big one. I feel like that I would say on my behalf, right? And before I get into any of this, I just want to let everybody know I am not a therapist. I am not a life coach. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude, y'all. So, take that as you want. Don't try to come after me like, yo, Vaughn told me this. Nah, I let you know up front. I'm just a dude. All right. So, one thing I've been realizing is feeling the need to prove yourself to others. It happened a lot, coming up in my life. I've seen a lot, especially on a smaller scale. I see it in my career a lot. Like I would deal with something that I didn't, somebody would like not give me something that I want. And then I felt the need to show them how dope I was. Like, have you ever done that? Um, in the chat, Lux, have you ever felt the need to prove yourself to anybody else? I know you're human like me. Um, so for me, I give you an example. I was dealing with this comedy club booker, and they did not want to pay me the amount of money that I wanted to get paid, and they did not want to give me the spot that I want. I felt like I worked hard enough to do that, so I felt like I needed to prove myself to this booker that I was good enough. So I was consciously feel like um, I was constantly trying to make sure, like, yo, they gonna see me get these bookings. They gonna see me at other clubs, and I was gonna be so dope and everything with that. And the chat Lux wrote, I feel like I did when I was younger. I took a lot of work to get out of people pleasing. Okay, all right. So stand up comedy, I feel like is in arts. I feel like certain careers can trigger a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of things that make you feel like you need to do certain things. So, in the chat, Lux, where do you feel like the need to prove yourself come from? So, as I've been doing my research, I've been, looking, going to deeper. In the chat, Lux wrote comedy subjective too, so I can only imagine. Yeah. So, one thing I've been realizing is a lot of this stuff comes from your childhood. Like things that you do in life and the way that you react, it's all like it started from when you was young and you still doing these things today. So like, and it's weird because when somebody told me that, I didn't believe that at first until I like will start reflecting. I remember, man, especially like starting off doing comedy. So like I had one parent who was like cool with it and one parent that was like nah. And I always felt the need to try to prove myself to the parent that didn't believe in like the path that I was taking. In the chat, Lux wrote, I think mine came from never wanting to disappoint my parents as a kid. Okay. All right. So for me, mine was trying to get the acceptance of that parent that, wouldn't accept it. I remember, and my parent, mine was my dad. So I remember I was talking to my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, I did this right here. Like I had got this gig and, this is my vision and my plan. And he just be looking at me like, I'm like, yo, bruh, dog, like I'm chasing my dreams, fam. And I don't know what it is, yo. Yeah. It hurt when you got the parent that don't believe in you. And like my mom be supportive. My mom be like, yo, man, I believe in you. Like my mom would sit down with me, create a vision board, a plan. Your dad just be like, yo, like Amazon is hiring right now. That yo. It don't even be your parents telling you directly that they don't believe in you. It be them telling you who's hiring. That is like the worst thing ever, yo. They be like, yo. They be like, yo, he be like, Pop, you believe in me? Like, hey, man, UPS got benefits. Like, dang. It got to a point, every time I talk to my dad, every time I talked to him, he always had a different place that was hiring. I blocked him, yo. I blocked him. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had to stop talking to him. But yeah, so but a lot of times you don't be conscious. What up, Glam Lash by Mayor? We're talking about proving yourself. Welcome to the chat. In the chat, Lux wrote, damn, yup. So in the chat, please write, what does proving yourself actually look like to you? So for me, I'll give you an example of what proving yourself look like. I had a rejection from this girl, right? I really, really liked her. Really, really liked her. And then I remember she had broke up with me right before a show. What up, Tom? So she had broke up with me right before a show, right? And y'all, I was hurt. I was hurt when this girl broke up with me. I was so hurt. So but this is what I did, yo. This is what I did. I was like, yo, I'm gonna show her. She gonna learn today. So I had a show that night in Illinois. I was taking pictures with every woman at that show. I was like, hey, yo, Take a picture with me so I can put this on the gram. But I was lying to them. I was like, yo, I need this for marketing. Nah, I needed this for a heartbreak. And the chat Lux wrote right before the show. Oh my God. Yes. I bet that was, I was listening to, at that point, it was Cardi B. Album was out, Invasion of Privacy. What's that song Cardi B had? The one that she was like, don't play with me. The one she was singing, the sad song or the Cardi B song. I was listening to that on great. I had a 10-hour trip to Illinois, and I played that song on repeat. Yeah, be careful with me. That's the song. I played that on repeat for 10 hours straight, y'all. It was. In the chat, Lux wrote, my dad favorite Cardi song. I don't know how to feel about that. So that's one example of what it looks like for me. For the family, proving myself, me personally, y'all, please feel free to write in the chat an example of which example of you trying to prove yourself to others. Another one for me is with my family. It was constantly trying to update them with stuff that I was working on, and not to just like let them know, but so that they could see that, yo, this is dope. I would try to tell them, oh, this is my path. Like I'll start going to over-explain. It's one thing to like just update people, be like, yo, just working on a couple projects, etc., etc. Nah, I was like, yo, so this is what I'm doing this month. This is what I'm doing next month. This is my plan. Look at this dude over here. Like I'm showing them other people that did what I did, and it was just like constantly just trying to show them, constantly posting pictures online so that they can see. Like posting pictures online wasn't even marketing for me. It was trying to show my family like this how dope the path that I chose in life. And it was just like a constant, hamster trap. So yeah, so those were like the two things for me that I felt like that I would try to do to always prove myself. And I think that's part of like when it becomes unhealthy is when you feel the need to go out of your way and to do those things. That's not healthy at all, because if you're constantly trying to explain to your other people what you're doing and trying to get their validation, and that's essentially what it was. Like I would want their validation, but I couldn't get it, so I would just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until I could get their validation. And the crazy part is, I don't know what it is. You have people that will validate you. You have people that tell you, yo, you doing a good job. It's great. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about us human beings. We want the people validation that don't give us the validation. Like, y'all ever felt that before? Like, you have, like, it could be 5 people, right? And out them 5, 4 people be like, yo, I like you. You dope. Keep doing what you're doing. I support you, whatever. But that one person, you be like, man, I need their validation. Like, forget them other 4 people. I need them. Their validation is the most. In the chat, Lux wrote, sometimes you explain too, because I thought if they just understood where I was coming from, they support. Yeah, that's what it is. That's deep. Yes. In the chat, Tom wrote, sometimes I spend money or post more for validation when I get it. I don't even like it. Yes. You ever got some validation and then after you got it, you realize like, yo, this validation won't even that good? And I appreciate y'all liking the live, Blam and Lux. That is the worst when you finally get the validation. And that's usually what happens, because validation is never going to fulfill you. It's something that you're on a hamster wheel. Validation, external validation will never fulfill you. And that's what I had to learn. Is that, hold on, in the chat, Lux wrote, I had one video go viral and I said, hell nah, this is not for me. Hey, Lux in the chat did go viral and she turned her comments off. She told me about that. Yes. It's addictive, man. It's addictive. Especially being on social media, you looking at the likes, the views, and stuff like that. Like I literally now, I'm like, I've been thinking, processing. I'm like, I need certain days that I'm just not on social media. Like this is not tied to my self worth, not at all. Um, so for me, what I've been doing recently a lot is, we talk about this almost every week, journaling. Like a lot of times, like when them thoughts that you feel like you need to prove yourself to somebody, um, like journal through it instead of actually going and getting that validation. Because when you start to journal, you start figuring out the root of it, and then you actually like process like what you've been going through. You finally feel at peace after you do that. This is for me. But once again, I want to tell everybody in the chat, I am not a therapist. I am not a life coach. I'm just a dude. Just want to make sure I put that out there. Lux Road, yeah, like putting that energy within, yes. So for me, what I realized is when I'm so focused on validation, like I'm staying busy. Now I'm posting pictures online to impress this woman. Now I'm trying to do certain things in my career just to show my parents, oh, this path is great. However, when I journal and I really write down how I feel, like yo, like it bothers me that I'm not getting this validation from this person, or it hurt that I did get rejected by this person. Once I do those things, then I really feel a lot more healthy. Um, I feel a lot more healthy at the end of that. So let me just read it. The chat. In the chat, Glam wrote, I'll try that. Sometimes I get lost between thoughts. Yeah, man, it's real. It's real. Um, in the chat, Lux wrote, yeah, like putting that energy within. So yes, getting lost with thoughts. And yeah, because it was like this week, my therapist, she was telling me like I have certain memories that pop up. She was like, yo, Bond, anytime that happen, write it down and work it out. And so I had to accept that, like, yo, sometimes you're just not gonna get people's approval. Sometimes you're not gonna have your family's approval. Sometimes they're just not gonna understand. Sometimes you might have a family that came from a traditional background and they don't understand the arts, and it's just not your job to prove them. Like, and it's my job is to make sure I live a healthy life and I have peace. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my focus is. Um, so yeah, that was a lot, y'all. I just I shared a lot with y'all right there. Um, so in the chat, can y'all let me know what do y'all think healthy confidence look like? So we talked about seeking the validation, which I think like what is a confidently going about things when you have that parent who doesn't, believe in you, or you get rejected by somebody that you like. What are healthy ways to adapt to those things? For me, what I realized and what I have realized in my personal journey is acceptance. You have to just accept that everybody's not going to know that what you on, and it is not your job to make them accept it. And also, for the rejection for women and stuff like that, what I realized is you just got to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't get rejected. No, I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just joking with y'all. I'm just joking. No, what I learned is that it is okay to be hurt. It is okay. Like you don't have to go out here and be petty and get your get back. Sometimes you need to go in your room, listen to Cardi B, or some Lil Boosie for my ratchets, and go through your healing process. And it might take time. Um, in the chat, Lux wrote, standing on what you believe in, regardless of who supports. Yes, because what somebody told me, there's over 1 billion people in this world. Your tribe out there, your people are out there. Don't doubt yourself. Lux wrote more money. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, it is time for us to move into. Hold on. In the chat, Tom wrote, for me, it's about focusing on myself and proving to myself more than anyone else. Yes, yes, proving to yourself. You know what? Isn't that what made me think of? Um, remember Creed at the end of Creed 1? When he was like, Rocky was like, what you doing this for? He was like, I'm doing this for myself. You can't do this for nobody else. You got to do it for myself. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and move into our next segment, which is the Reddit segment. All right. So the first one I got here today is how to stop seeking validation from others and find it within yourself. For a long time, I found myself constantly looking for approval from others, whether it was friends, family, or even strangers. I wanted to be seen as successful, likable, and good enough. But no matter how much validation I received, it never felt like enough. I realized that constantly changing other people's approval wasn't just exhausting, it was also keeping me from being my true self. I wasn't doing things for me, I was doing them to meet someone else's standard. That realization changed everything. What do y'all think about that? Yeah. One thing that really stuck out to me is that they said it's exhausting. Yes, comparing yourself, um, trying to get your family and friends to approve you, or job, like seeking that validation. That stuff is a job. Like once I realized how much work I could get done by not seeking validation, I was like, yo, I don't even want to seek validation no more. It's like, yo, it's just no point. It's like I can use that time, go write some sketches, go do a podcast, come on a TikTok live. You know what I'm saying? Go make some money. And the chat looks for woo, yes, exhausting for sure. Yeah. Um, Tom wrote in the chat, other people's thoughts is their own business. I make it a goal to stay in my own business. I feel that. I feel that. Um, do y'all feel like social media makes proving ourselves worse? Let me know in the chat if you think social media makes proving yourself worse. So for me personally, I feel like social media definitely does trigger you, subconsciously. Like you may not even be aware that you triggered by social media, and you be just like you see something, you be like, oh snap, they did that. Let me post something real quick, and it's like you're not like, and it's like it could just happen like that, and it's like I try to be more mindful with social media. In the chat, Luxro, I think social media has done a number on comparison. Yes, I think social media is one of them things where it's like it's the gift and the curse, right? It helps me market as an artist, get my name out there without going through the traditional path. However, it also affects your mental health. Let's see. Tom wrote, other people's thoughts is their own business. I make it a goal to stay in my own business. I feel that. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next one. It says self-soothing and self-validation success story. So it says, so proud of myself for this. I'm going to tell the whole story. This weekend, I went to a barbecue at my friend's house. It's it's a group of friends from university I haven't seen in months. I traveled up for context. I always been desperate and have been called as much, honestly. But this past year, I've really been trying to get better, to improve myself wholly, not just in that regard. Immediately, I saw two guys that I didn't know that were somewhat attractive. One turned out to be in a couple, so the second one was single. I wanted his attention. I wanted him to like me. He kept making throwaway comments about niche topics that I did recognize, but I didn't want to seem desperate or too interested. So I let him think no one got his jokes. Until he made one about a film I love that barely anyone I know has seen, and I had to say something. But even then, I thought, why do I need this approval so much? Why do I need him to know that I'm so different? Why so eager to impress? By then I was drunker. Imagine us slipping inside and making out in the kitchen. Then I did the talking to myself thing I've been trying to do recently, the emotional maturity self-regulation thing. I said to myself, I probably only want to make out with him so everyone else here should think he's like me. So essentially, hold on one second, y'all. All right, so what I wanted for someone to find me attractive, which sounds like the simplest answer, but usually it isn't what the root actually is. What I really wanted was for him to see that I was different, to pick me over the literally only other single girl there, to prove that I am special and desirable, that a guy like him, literally just the most average looking man, could like a girl like me. Then I said to myself, well, I think I am pretty, I am attractive. I read that you should give yourself what you seek in others. Love yourself first, etc. So in my head I said, you are beautiful. I love the outfit. That piece from the shot. You're acknowledged. At the start, when I first began this whole journey, talking to myself, felt difficult, but now I can say those things fully, authentically, no irony. Alright, so this person pretty much um, was at an outing with friends. They saw someone they liked. They were seeking. They know they wanted their validation, and so what they did is they started saying affirmations in their heads. Um, it was pretty dope. So my question for y'all is: when you catch yourself starting to seek validation, what do you do in that moment? Please write in the chat what you do when you feel like you're feeling yourself pulled to start seeking validation from somebody. Um, I'll be honest with you. I just get the validation. My go to is I start trying to make you laugh. That's like, and I'm good at it. The problem is I'm really good at making people laugh. Like I know, like it's literally a skill that I've been doing for 10 years. Um, but no, when I do feel the pull, when I'm like aware of it consciously, what I do is I try to pull back. Um, I try to pull back and bring myself to more balance instead of going on that loop of seeking that validation. So a lot of times it's like I might start off doing it, and then it's just like once I'm aware of it, then it's like, oh, let me stop doing this and figure out. For me, I try to figure out what is it that I'm really needing in that moment. What's the root of it? A lot of times there's something deeper. Like it's just once again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a life coach. I'm just a dude. I'm trying to see if it's tied to my childhood trauma, exactly what's going on. In the chat, Lux wrote, I try to step back like, okay, why do I care if they like me or not? Yeah, definitely. And it's best, like, it's so dope when you can be aware. Sometimes you're not even aware. Like, you'll be like knee deep in the conversation. You'll be like, oh, snap. I didn't realize I was doing that. So a lot of times I try to, like, I journal, reflect on my day, and I go back and read it. And then sometimes later I'll be like, oh, I was getting validation right there. All right, y'all. So we're going to go into our next story. I do things with everyone's approval in mind. I'm so frustrated. I know that external validation is important to a certain extent, but my own approval is just not enough for me. Ever. When I work out, I'm solely doing it with how good I'll eventually look to men in mind. Like when I'm working out, I'm imagining. I live like I'm constantly being observed by others and often fantasize about a version of myself that's completely unattainable. Everybody likes me. I'm the best at everything. I have zero flaws. But in reality, I'm none of those things. I am extremely shy person with all. I'm extremely shy person with almost no self-confidence. I have mental health issues that fantasizing is a means of escape from my life. How can I break out of this cycle? How can I become enough for myself? Um, so yeah, in the chat, please let me know. We just read a story about somebody who's is craving external validation. And they asking themselves, you know, what are some things that they can do to stop this? What do y'all think based upon what we just read in the chat? Excuse me. What do y'all think just based upon what we just read? I would say just reading this. Um, I think awareness. Hold on one second. In the chat, Lux wrote, "Work on that self-esteem." Yeah, I feel you on that. Um, I think that you got to give yourself compassion and empathy too. A lot of times it's just like don't be too hard on yourself. Even when you recognize that you are doing these things, like you're human, and it's gonna take time for you to break out of certain habits. Just like it took time for you to get to the place that you was. Like I tell people all the time, like yo, um, I didn't become fat overnight. It took me a long time to get fat, so it's gonna take me a long time to get skinny. In the chat, Lux wrote, "Give yourself grace." Yes, that's essentially what I was saying. Give yourself some grace, and just understand that it's a journey. It's not gonna happen overnight, and you're gonna be all right. All right, all right, y'all. We're gonna do one more story before we go to our next segment. This one is, why was validation from me not good enough? All right, so I've been doing my own reading on infidelity. I've been browsing wayward forums. I get the thing about looking for validation from AP. I'm also a wayward. After my wife's affair confession, I started questioning everything about myself. I was left ashamed and emasculated. I wanted to prove myself that I was still good enough. While we did while we did go through a brief period of hysterical bonding, it didn't make me feel better. I started to become completely checked out of the relationship, and it came to a stage where I was basically fine if she cheated again. I started to be disgusted by her. See the mind movies. Couldn't have sex or engage in any physical contact with her anymore. It was at the stage that I cheated with an AP of my own. I was looking for validation, to feel better about myself, to prove myself that I'm still attractive and desirable despite what she did to me. It didn't work either, but that's a conversation for another time. When I compare my situation to my wife, I see many similarities but one difference. For me, the reason I went to AP was because I was incapable of getting the validation I wanted from my wife. Yes, it might not be as simple as that, and yes, I will be putting in the work to make sure I don't cheat again. But for the person, but for the question in my post titled, "Why Validation from My Wife Wasn't Good Enough," I have a more or less clear cut answer. Her affair made me unable to see her that way for a while, and secondly, I simply didn't care anymore if I hurt her. But for her, I don't get why she would chose some other man over me for validation. Why she wanted validation so desperately is another question. I'm not even going to get into it because that's her job to find out. My question is, whatever the reason might be, when she needed someone to make her feel better about herself, someone to give her compliments or show her physical desires, why didn't she not choose me? I was right there. Why did she have to go even through to all the hoops of finding AP, talking to him, and over the course of a whole year, planning meetups, etc.? She could have just asked me for whatever, and I would have at least listened. We had a healthy relationship, decent communication, good stuff. She agreed with that too. Why then, when everything was okay, was I not chosen? And what seemed like the thing that she wanted the most, even over this marriage? Yeah, it gets different for different people. Maybe the fair didn't give you something the marriage cannot. Maybe some people get bored and want something new. I just want to know, what was the situation for your wayward? Why was validation from your spouse not good enough? Um, all right, y'all. So that was the end of that story. So my question for y'all in the chat, um, you know, why do y'all feel like he's asking? Why do you feel like his validation wasn't good enough for his wife and made her calls to go out and cheat? Um, I feel like, hey, in the chat, Tom wrote, when your partner doesn't get enough validation from you, it can just be their problem. In the chat, Lux wrote, wasn't him. It was her own issues. Yeah, man. One of the things I was reading it. It's like you can't blame yourself for someone else's actions. Um, it could be numerous reasons why you did that. It could be nothing with you. Um, you know, and yeah, bro, just don't blame yourself. There's people out there that don't cheat, and put yourself out there and go do it. Um, as long as you keep chasing on after that, bro, it's more time taken away from finding somebody who won't cheat on you. So give yourself grace, my brother. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to our next segment, our celebrity segment. All right, all right, y'all. So y'all know Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan was famously cut from his varsity basketball team as a teenager. Instead of giving up, he used that rejection as motivation. Throughout his career, he became known for constantly trying to prove doubters wrong, even after becoming one of the greatest athletes ever. And my question is, can rejection become fuel? In the chat, please let me know. Do you think rejection can become fuel? And yes, for me, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say hell yes. I told y'all this story a few weeks ago when we had Brenda on here. Um, Rejection, Lux in the chat. Lux wrote definitely, especially for men. LOL. Lux hating. She hating on us men, y'all. No, I'm messing with you. For me, um, there was a time in my life I went through a breakup, and I told people I lost 50 pounds trying to get this like my ex back. Like it was straight motivation. I'd be working out, y'all. I was working out 3 times. I was walking 10 miles a day, 4 days a week. Um, and it was just like man, rejection. It, yeah. In the chat, Lux wrote, y'all take that stuff serious. I don't think it's a gender thing. I think that it's a human thing. Cause I see women keep people cars after being rejected. In the chat, Tom wrote, rejection can be fuel, but it's not always sustainable for everyone. I'm glad you used that word, Tom. Sustainable. That's what I realized. Um, it could be something that gets you over the hump, but you do have to find something that's more sustainable long term to do it. Like your purpose. Your purpose can't be, yo, my ex broke up with me, so for the next 20 years, I'm going to use that as the grind. Like, no, no. You need something longer. So I'm not mad at anybody who uses rejection as a starting off type of thing, but definitely as you heal and grow, because I feel like that's part of the healing process. As you heal and grow, then it's like, yo, bro, like you eventually gotta let her go, and you gotta find something else that motivates you. Like go put on some Lil Jon, to motivate you. Some Young G, put on some real hood music. Um, all right, so we're gonna move on to our next celebrity. Oh, in the chat, Lux wrote, "Yup, got to do it for the right reasons." Yes, ma'am. So Oprah Winfrey, early in her career, Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television and was removed um, from a news anchor position. Instead of trying to become what others wanted, she leaned into her authentic style, which eventually transformed daytime television. And my question in the chat is, why do y'all think people are often rewarded after they stop pretending? I would say it's because people can feel your authenticity. Like when you're trying to prove yourself and you seek validation, people can feel that. Like people know like, oh, they want this from me. Like your energy, it comes off. But when you're around somebody who's just themselves, It's like, oh man, like it's just respect. Like I don't know what it is. When I'm around people who themselves, it's like I just respect you more because it's like I know you are you. In the chat, Lux wrote, one thing they all have in common is they believe in themselves regardless of who else did. Yeah, yeah. You gotta be a little narcissistic to make it. No, I'm just joking, y'all. But yes, you gotta. They all believe in themselves, um, because if you keep chasing after people who don't believe in you and trying to prove yourself to them, you can't go after your goals because you're too busy using your bandwidth on chasing after those people. Have y'all in the chat? Tom wrote, "Authenticity lets people know you for real." Yeah, that's real, yo. That's real. Like, you ever like watch a celebrity interview, like Breakfast Club or just something, and then like you could tell the difference between somebody who's like they got PR, like somebody gave them answers to say, versus someone who's just authentically being themselves. And don't you feel more like attracted, or just feel more close to the person that that is just themselves versus to the person that is just reading a script? Because it's like the person that just reading a script is just like, okay, you got 14-year-old fans, but like your real adult fans, come on now, we want to know like what's the struggle like, what you be going through, dog. Like, let us know, we can feel it. All right, good peoples. In the chat, Lux wrote, seems like the more vulnerable they are makes them more relatable. Yeah, yeah, because it's like, yo, we all going through stuff. Like I didn't watch you to just tell me how much you'll better your life. Y'all ever heard that joke? I think it was Dion and Cole. I might be wrong, but a comedian was just like, they stopped listening to rap music because all they was rapping about how much better their life was than yours. It's like they got a big house, got all this money, got cars, they living in the best day. Was like, yo, I can't even relate. Like your life way better than mine. Let me throw this CD out the window. That's real, yo. Like, I want to hear about your struggle, man. I want to hear about how you ain't pay that light bill, how your phone was off for 3 days. That's what I want to hear about. Oh man. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead into our one of my favorite segments, our or nah segment. This is my personally my favorite one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read out um, a scenario, and what I need for y'all is write a chat. Is it confidence or nah? All right. So we're gonna do the first one. Um, Working overtime just so people think you successful. Is that confidence or nah? I would say that's confidence because you still working overtime. I'm just like, in the chat, Lux wrote, nah. Oh man, yeah. If you're doing it for other people to see that you're confident, then nah, that's definitely um, not it. All right, posting every accomplishment online. Is that confidence or nah? And oh, in the chat, Tom wrote from the last one, nah, not for me, lol. What up, Jay? Welcome, welcome. We're playing our Ornog 7. Feel free to type in the chat and join in. So let me reread the one. So, posted every accomplishment online. Is that confidence or nah? Please write in the chat what you think that is. For me, no. I told y'all I was doing that. I was posting everything. I was trying to prove all my haters wrong. My family, my exes, the bookers who ain't want to pay me. Nah. Tom wrote, nah, not for me. LOL. Lux wrote, that's hard because I say it's for validation, but also sometimes people just proud of themselves. I feel like you know the difference. I feel like you know the difference. J wrote, nah, with two H's. All right. Next one. Confidence or nah? Being okay with disappointing people to stay true to yourself. I'll say, yeah, that's confidence. That's real confidence for me. That's what I would say personally. We'd love to hear what y'all got to say, but Lux wrote confidence, Tom wrote confidence, Jay wrote confidence for sure. Yeah. Um, and people, I feel like one of the things is a lot of times people will respect you for honesty. They might not like it up front in the beginning, but if you honest and you take accountability, at the end of the day, a lot of times it's not just confidence, but it also builds relationships. All right, buying expensive things to impress people, confidence or not? I would say, nah, that's not confidence, not at all. Um, Tom, yeah, Tom in the chat, he wrote nah. Lux wrote nah. So yeah, yeah, y'all get it. Taking criticism from everyone, is that confidence or nah? Oh, hold on. Jay wrote, nah. If you're doing it because you want it, that's one thing. But doing it for other is nah. Yeah. Yeah. Taking criticism from everyone, is that confidence or not? I would say nah. Um. Sometimes you gotta. What up, Sunday? Welcome in the chat. Sunday always come in for this segment. But yeah, y'all. So, what y'all think for that one? Nah. Jay wrote, hell nah. Lux wrote, not from everyone in all caps. Sunday wrote, hey, yo, it's confidence. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We got everybody was saying, nah, hold on. Tom wrote, you have to know what criticism is really valuable. Tom, everybody was like, nah. Then Sunday was like, nah, it's confidence. Wow. Sunday be like, yo, give me the criticism. I don't care what it is. Um, all right, y'all. So I got another one for you. Celebrating yourself even if nobody else notices. Is that confidence or nah? In the chat, Sunday wrote, people only seeing you what's in them. Tell me I am beautiful. Ooh, yo, he dropping balls today. Player, pimp, pimp. Lux wrote confidence. Sunday wrote confidence for sure. Jay wrote confidence. Okay. All right. I got one more for y'all. Stand in a relationship because you don't want people to think you failed. Is that confidence or nah? Be your own hype person, Sunday wrote in the chat. Yeah, so stay in a relationship because you don't want people to think you failed. I think that's confidence, but I want to see what y'all got to say. Tom wrote, hell nah. Sunday wrote, hold on. Hold on. Sunday wrote stupidity. Tom wrote, hell nah. J wrote, F nah. Good God. Oh man. Hey, but look, if you got the type of partner that's giving you criticism and cussing you out, that builds confidence. Hey, hey. Lux, bro, everyone in here grown for real. I know that's right. I was like, yeah, everybody put a cuss word in there. I'm like, yo. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't bring the minister on this week. I'm glad I didn't bring the church folk on this week. Oh, Sunday wrote, they don't pay my bills, cussing me out if it's foreplay. Oh my God. Oh man, I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. I was not expecting y'all to respond like that. This was, boy. Okay. All right, y'all. So in closing, we're gonna close out. Question for everybody is: what's one step you can take this week to live for yourself instead of everyone else's expectations? So yeah. So what's please feel free to chat. What's one step you can take this week to live for yourself instead of everyone else's expectations? For me, is acceptance, and spending time alone. A lot of for me, I realized this kind of prove myself is I wasn't okay or acceptable being by myself. And so what I'm going to do is focus on spending more time alone, being by myself, and finding people that align with the lifestyle that I live. And knowing that, sometimes family ain't the ones to do that. In the chat, Sunday wrote, stop negotiating against my standards. Stay 10 toes down on what the Lord has for me. Hold on, Sunday. Y'all was just cussing in the chat like crazy. Now y'all bringing the Lord in this? Hold on. What are we doing here? But nah, I feel you, Sunday. I feel you. Jay wrote, doing something that actually brings you joy without feeling guilty for it. I feel that, Jay. Lux wrote, I try to practice self-care. And then Tom wrote, don't network just to network. If you need those people connections, we'll gravitate. Yeah. Sunday wrote, I am not all the way saved. I am a Christian in progress. You gotta change your name. You gotta change your name. Your name is Sunday morning. That's the Lord's day. If you a Christian in pride, you gotta be Tuesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Like your name can't be Sunday morning if you a Christian in progress. Oh my God! All right, y'all. The Lord knew me before He formed me. Oh man. Well, well, guys. Sorry. Sunday is hilarious. Sunday is hilarious. Sunday. Look, y'all. I dropped the promo video for this on yesterday to promote the live. Sunday just dropped eye emojis, and y'all seen Sunday in here week after week in the chat. Y'all see, I was like, I knew he was about to say something funny, and I was like, yo, what you about to say? And he said, this is between him and God. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, Sunday. All right. Anyways, y'all, here's just a few affirmations. Um, because we're about improving ourselves. That you can say to yourself this week. I do not need to prove my worth to anyone. My value is not determined by others people's opinion. I am enough even when no one is watching. So there's three affirmations you can say this week. Um, this has been fantastic. Yes, we'll be back here next week. Um, 10 p.m. Tuesday. Also, last Friday of the month, not this Friday coming up, but the Friday after that, we got the Rent Comedy Party. So, which is the 31st. So make sure y'all come to that as well if you're free that Friday night. Um, it's gonna be a good time. Outside of that, my Christians in progress, keep progressing. My non-Christians know that somebody loves you. This has been great. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. Peace out, Tom. Love you too, Sunday.